Hello and welcome. Anyone else feeling a little bit goofy? The 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie just passed, and for all us millennials and Gen Z, this movie was always a comfort one. Hilariously, I thought about making a video related to the film and anniversary, and well, then the documentary, Not Just a Goof, dropped on the actual anniversary of the film, and a few days later, I got a message from my friend saying that I made it into the documentary. That's me. I'm in it. I was insanely happily confused and excited. Turns out my little review that I did on the Goofy movie that was a part of the Disney 365 reviews I did 7 years ago. The producers of the documentary saw my movie and put me in. I had no idea, so it was such a super cool surprise. I can genuinely say that I'm in a film on Disney Plus. It's real. That's reality now. I'm a part of a film with Disney legends Bill Farmer and Jason Marsden. That is so cool. I've already talked about how much I love Jason Marsden, so like 6 degrees of separation here. Like, I really appreciate it so much. So cool. So of course now I especially got to give Goofy and Max some extra love for helping my dreams get a little bit closer to coming true. I would have made this video regardless, but now there's extra meaning tied into it.
A Goofy movie didn't do that well at the box office. Instead, it grew into a cult classic that so many kids and adults love today. And I'm so happy to see it get its recognition now. When it came out, a lot of potential merch got pulled from being created. That means there's no video game tie-in for a Goofy movie. Something that would have been a standard for a successful Disney film at the time, especially since Disney Interactive was just launching and making PC games for all their respective media. The closest we got was this Disney's Extremely Goofy skateboarding game that was released in 2001.
I'd love to play and talk about it more within the future if I can find a copy of it. Instead, we're gonna go back to the past to where it all started.
Yeah.
Goof Troop was released in 1993 by Capcom for the Super Nintendo system. It's considered an action-adventure game, but I personally consider it more of a puzzle-based game, especially with how much thinking you have to do to advance. You can either choose to play single-player or 2 players, choosing between Goofy and Max respectively as your avatars. The story starts out with our introduction slide explaining, "It was a great day for fishing in Spoonerville, so Goofy and his pals headed out to the ocean with their boats. Cruising for the big ones in open water, Pete and PJ were suddenly caught in the ominous shadow of a gigantic ship. When Goofy and Max looked up, they saw a huge pirate ship heading out to Spoonerville Island. Pete and PJ were on board victims of a pirate kidnapping. Goofy rowed for all he was worth, but he couldn't catch up to the pirate ship before it landed on the island. Determined to rescue their friends, Goofy and Max set out to explore the island and find the pirate strongholds." There's 5 stages that you progress through in order to complete the game, with several classic old-school cutscenes to explain what's happening in the story.
Honestly, I don't even know why you would bother to rescue Pete, especially since we know he would never do the same if Goofy and Max were in that situation. But that just proves that Goofy is the bigger person. Poor PJ though, he's just wrapped up in a toxic family dynamic.
If you know how to play right, it's a quick and mostly easy game. I did not know how to play right, so it took a lot longer to figure out. There's no tutorial because games used to be more challenging and made you think back then, so I had to figure out what controls to use, but once I took some time, I understood. It also took me way too long to realize that you needed to move the stars into the correct places to open the gate to continue advancing within the level. Each level consists of numerous puzzles to solve, pirates and animals to fight against, as well as fire in the later stages, fruits that will help give you more lives since there's also no save slots available to use. If you end up dying and want to go back, you need to remember the various passwords to get you to the stage that you were in, compared to starting the game over from the very beginning again. Oh, and we can't forget about the insane boss battles. Say what you will about Goofy and Max, but they are hardcore.
If you're good at this game, the average time it takes to play is about an hour. Perfect for an after-school session with some pizza and friends, especially if you played 2-player co-op. But if you're like me, it took me almost an hour to figure out how to get through the first stage alone. I'm sure that was a lot of kids' experience though. We always forget how video games, especially within the last 30 years, really were helpful for problem solving, strategizing, hand-eye coordination, and overall better cognitive skills.
The game did get a lot of positive reviews when it was first released, and even though I struggled with it at first, I really did enjoy playing it. This would be something I could see kids spending a lot of time with and improving on, since we all know how expensive games were, and still are, and for good reason too.
A lot of work got put into this, and I can argue that the story still doesn't make the most sense, and I will stand by the opinion that Goofy shouldn't help Pete out, since Pete would never do the same if he was in that situation.
I know the creators just wanted to set up a reason for Goofy and Max to go on a fun pirate-kicking adventure together, and who could blame them?
For the game being over 30 years old, it does still hold up very well, and the only limitations now are that it's never been remastered or ported to any modern systems. It was only released on the Super Nintendo system. I was able to play a version I found online, but those versions have never been officially released. There are just ways people are working on preserving these amazing games so they're not completely forgotten. The rest of the Disney Afternoon collection has been remastered, so I question, why not Goof Troop? And now that a Goofy movie is thankfully getting the credit it deserves, could we ever see a video game tie-in towards the film? It would be such an easy story to set up as well. I'm not a video game designer, but I already have some ideas with how it could play out.
Hilariously as well, Disney did post this pixel version of a Goofy movie for the anniversary, and you can genuinely see how cool it looks in this 16-bit style. It would make such an amazing video game.
And maybe I'll return to this game in the future to do a Let's Play with a friend and see how different it is to play in 2-player co-op mode. But until then, as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.